when this experience happened to me, I was 14 years old. I was already living on my own. I lived with a family. I left my home, and I went to live with my best friend and her family. Not realizing when I ran away, that was the word. I had a boyfriend. He didn't know I was pregnant. But the lady that I was living with, she said, "Oh, Vivian, you're too young to have a child. I'm going to take you to this clinic, and don't worry, it doesn't work. They're going to put you to sleep." And if she made it seem like it was nothing, the beginning started there. The sadness, the depression, and the traumas, things that was happening in my life, which I didn't like. So as the years went by, I think I met a gentleman at 18, and I forgot all about my trauma when I met this gentleman, which was with the husband, the father of my children. And then I completely forgot about what I was feeling, and then I still had my trauma, the symptoms. I didn't understand why I was so angry, so depressed, and then we started going to church. And when I started going to church, everything started changing. My depression went away, my anxiousness went away, and I said, "Oh my God, God is so real, I'm so alive." My daughter-in-law said, "Why don't you come visit the clinic?" And I said, "Sure, let me go volunteer." And then I said, "Oh, I'm just gonna volunteer, walk in." I said, "What am I gonna help the community with? Yay! You know, I'm gonna put my share. I love the community, serve the community." So when I went in, but if you wanna take this, be in the part of the clinic, you have to take certain classes. I said, "Okay." And then I got like, "What?" I haven't been to school in forever. Now we're talking about a 64-year-old woman coming in thinking she's gonna do such a wonderful community service. And you turn around and you end up, and I said, "Lord, okay, you gotta take surrendering class, surrendering your secrets." And I'm asking God, and I'm talking here to myself, "God, why am I in this class? You forgave me. You delivered me. You know, I pray about this." And then, it's 50 years in. I said, so I'm sitting through the class. By the 4th class of surrendering my secret, something snapped. That's when I realized on my way home, God gives me the revelation where all this pain comes from. And I didn't realize that I was molested by my stepmother. And I hid it so deep that it was the worst thing in my life. And I'm coming and I'm driving and I say, "Lord, how is this possible?" He said, "All this started because of this." The following 4 weeks, it was the best thing in my life when I took those classes. It delivered me. I flourished. I didn't feel guilty. I felt lifted in the class. And I was really transformed. Forgive me. It was like, whoa, I didn't even know that was so deep. Even though I'm walking with Jesus over 30-something years, this simple class brought it all to the light. It was like okay, this is where I want you. Sometimes we could go to church, but this simple class healed the cord of where it's been. So that it was rooted out, whatever was holding my emotions. So when I got control of my emotion and realized that God was working in all this simple community, thinking that I was coming in to serve, come to realize that I got delivered.